Hi, thanks for joining me again for day 2. We find day 2 on here. Day 2, there it is. Day 2 is time limited hobby events. These are now a common occurrence in the game. There are several different ones, but they all work the same way. For example, you have the long hair event, the urban furniture event, the sleepwear event, and this one is the latest one, which is the country homestead event. There are several different types, but they all work the same way. What you have to do is complete a certain hobby several times within a time limit. Every time you complete the hobby collection, you unlock one of the prizes. I'm going to show you with the country homestead event, as this was the one that was available when I was recording. It is not currently available. You have to wait until these events reappear before you'll be able to do them. They do appear quite often though, and there are several different ones, so if you haven't completed one of them, you'll still have the chance to complete it in future, because they will come back around again. So for this one, the time limit is 10 days. If you don't complete it in the time limit, the event will disappear and you won't be able to complete it again until it is re-added to the game. So when a new hobby event begins, you will get a pop-up appear on your screen. In the active tasks menu, usually a few days before, the pop-up will appear telling you that it's coming soon. This is so that you can get started on levelling up if you haven't already reached level 6. Because if you aren't level 6 in a hobby, you're going to find it incredibly difficult to complete these in the time limit. So when the pop-up appears, click yes if you want to partake in this. If you do, it will remove all of the items in that hobby that you've already collected, so you don't get a head start. Once you click yes, it will take you to the hobby collection screen. So then you can see what prizes you'll be able to win and how many times you need to complete that hobby to be able to win these prizes. So for this one, you need to complete the woodworking hobby 10 times. So complete the whole collection 10 times to be able to win all 10 packs. Because each time you complete a collection, you'll earn yourself one of the packs. If you don't earn them all in the time limit, you'll still get to keep the ones that you have. And like I said before, these events usually reappear quite often. So if you don't manage to complete it this time, don't panic, because they will reappear again. A pop-up appeared telling me that the event was going to start tomorrow. So I knew that I could put Sims on to start this hobby early, so that when it came round to it, I would already have some of the items I needed. So that's a great idea if you know the event is going to start the next day. If you haven't done this hobby before, I recommend putting a sim on the longest option. So in this one, it is 12 hours 30 minutes to level them up. If you have completed this hobby already before, you won't have to get a sim to level 6. If you haven't completed it already but have a sim at level 6, then you'll be able to find all the items that you need. I've completed this hobby before, so all my sims are going to be on the 5-hour option. If you don't have a sim at level 6, you are going to find it difficult, which is why I recommend that you complete every single hobby when you unlock that hobby, just in case that it comes up in a time limited hobby event, so that you're able to complete it in the time. If you don't have a sim at the highest level, you cannot unlock higher level items. So you may have noticed on some collections the items are greyed out where you haven't reached the highest level. This is because you cannot find them until you reach that level. But once you have reached that level, even if you change your Sims hobby to a different one, you'll still be able to unlock the highest level items. Have as many Sims as you possibly can completing each of these time limited hobby events. I've got 10 Sims completing the woodworking hobby, but you can buy as many woodworking benches as you like and place them all in your houses, and then you'll be able to complete it quicker. Some hobbies you can only have a certain amount of items in your town. For example, the musical expressions hobby, you can only buy 3 xylophones for that one, so you can only have 3 babies completing that hobby to complete the baby onesie event. If you don't know how to complete a hobby because you've never done it before, then check out the posts on my website. I try to have all my Sims who are completing a hobby event in one house. So I have 10 in this house completing it. That's the maximum number of Sims you can have in a house at one time. If you want to see how many items you have left to collect to complete a hobby, then you can find that in the hobby tab. Go to the hobby tab and click on a Sim who's completing that hobby, and it will come up with the collection screen. If you click on the active task button, you'll be able to see the time limit left for the event. I think the most important thing to show you is when you earn a prize. So I'm going to show you me completing a collection, because a lot of people seem to think that you earn a prize by completing a row. You don't, you have to complete the whole collection. So in this case, find all 12 items that you need. You will get a lot of repeats, but you just have to keep going. You will find the ones you need eventually. Some of them are rare, so they take longer to find, and it does get frustrating, but you will get there. And if you don't manage to complete it this time, you can do it next time. It doesn't matter. The next time you redo the event, you only have to collect the packs that you haven't earned already. For example, if you manage to get 5 this time, you'll only have to get 5 next time in the time limit. I've looked in the hobby collection menu and I can see that I have 1 left to collect to complete this hobby, to unlock the next prize that I need. So all I'm going to do is click on each sim individually and see what they have created. As you can see, it's very frustrating when you get the same ones over and over again. Especially this time, they seem to have made it really difficult. Usually with 10 sims I can complete it quite quickly. Two left to go, let's hope one of these finds it. Otherwise we're going to have to wait another 5 hours. Yay, luckily one of my sims has found the last one that I needed to complete that collection. You can tell it's a new item because you get a simoleon reward for finding it. You only get this the first time you find it in a collection. You also get an XP reward for completing a whole row, and then it will appear with a pop-up telling you that you have unlocked one of the prizes and what it is. Now this is the most important thing. Once you have completed a collection, you need to click Start a New Collection. It's a green button at the top of the collection that you've just completed. Click this to restart, otherwise you will not find any new items and you will not be able to complete a new collection. So the way I complete these in the time limit is by having as many sims as possible to complete these. You can also send sims to your neighbour's town to complete certain time limited hobby events. For example, the sleepwear one, you can only have 1 sim in your town completing that, so you can send another sim to your neighbour's town to be able to complete it quicker. But if you do find repeat items constantly, just keep going. You will get the one you want eventually. It does take a while, but just keep going. And if you don't think you'll be able to complete it in the time, don't worry about it, because they do bring these back a lot. If you really, really desperately want them to bring one back, contact them. Send them a message on Twitter or Facebook, because they really do care about your opinion. So if you want an event to come back, then the more people say they want the event to come back, the more likely it is to come back. I hope you'll be able to join me tomorrow for day 3. See you then!